Finally. Off work. Getting the scrubs. Looking all blue collar and rugged. Whatever, it's a means to an end, alright? I gotta do what I gotta do to get this little shackle off my ankle, okay? Don't judge me. Oh my God. Are you arguably 3-4? Even my cousin said, it's so perplexing. I know this team is good, but they're 3-4. It almost warps the mind of one's understanding of wins and losses, understandings of football, sports in general. So many things can't be weighed on just wins and losses. For the most part, we are trained that black and white element is essentially what makes the paycheck, loses the paycheck, gets you fired, whatever. But anybody that knows anything about the sport, or at least trusts their intuition, can't help but look at what's going on the field and where we've come from over the last 10 years and not look at that and think to themselves, I'm loving where this is at. I had no faith in Mike Riley's teams at all. I love Bo, but every single team that Bo had moving forward got progressively worse. You could always tell where the ceiling was under both those coaches. When they started getting blown out, deep down you just knew it was coming. Go back to the Bill Callahan days. Those teams were so uninspiring. And honestly, you could make the argument that the blowouts to Texas Tech in 2004, 70 to 10? It's almost like it's almost like we exchanged with the devil, though. It's like, we'll take a few blowouts, but can we have, a moderately respectable record? Now, that's flipped. It's the other way around. Other than Ohio State in 2019, we're not getting blown out the entire Scott Frost era, but we can't get the wins. And you even look at how good the Big Ten has been over the past 5 years. You look at this schedule. Tom Osborne never could win the bowl game, right? He'd be coming in with a top-ranked team, and he would always get blown out in the bowl game. Look at this season. It's like every single game is a bowl game. Michigan State, top-flight team. Michigan, legendary team. Tons of history. Oklahoma, we got Ohio State, Wisconsin, Iowa. All those teams are solid, if not amazing. Imagine all those are bowl games. Michigan is really good. Really good. And Nebraska arguably beat them. I'm having so much fun watching this team. It's frustrating as a Nebraska fan to be ashamed of whiny Nebraska fans. Bitching and complaining so short-sighted. It's like, have you forgotten what quality truly looks like, even though the wins aren't coming? Have you forgotten what it's like to get blown out 70 to 10? I still see some morons just constantly, just because they're whining like little heartbroken little girls when it comes to just, again, the heartbreaking losses. Yes, they're heartbroken, blah blah blah. But with it, these losses coming out of nowhere on a regular basis. But I'm proud watching these teams. They are getting respect back, and everything else around it. The community that is being consumed is something that you just don't want to fuck up. You know what I mean? Like the Oklahoma game, the Michigan State game, the Michigan game, games that arguably we should have won all of them. Go back and not only look at national analysts, but also local analysts of Michigan, Oklahoma, and Michigan State. It's like we are getting respect. We're even without being undefeated, because it's such an anomaly. It's kind of cool. And part of the optimism comes from just faith of knowing where it's going to go, faith of knowing that they've gotten better each and every week, and they can't keep doing the same mistakes over and over, because they're not. They're getting better. They're not doing the same punts and kickoff issues, okay? But their schedule's a beast, and shit's going to happen. And what I mean by the community, the absorbing of the community that's just so positive and foundation building. What I mean by that is you have all the old players that are around constantly. Tom Osborne is around constantly. Trev Alberts is around constantly. He's around the players. They're in the locker rooms. The whole community is welcome. You're seeing them around town, I assume. I don't live there, but you're seeing them around town, I assume. So it is associated in these players' lives. You don't think future recruits are not seeing that? You don't think future recruits are seeing this community, this bond, this family, and forget the stadium and forget what they're doing there? You don't think future recruits are seeing this and being like, I want to be a part of that? You're a fool. A short-sighted little fool if you're one of those people that just, despite all that, these heartbreaking losses. I get it. But if you're one of those people that literally is ignoring what we're seeing on the field and ignoring the foundation building of this community, you're ignoring all that, you just need to retire that in. You need to pack up, back out, and go to stop being a football fan altogether, because you ain't one. Know what I mean? Know what I mean, Vern?